Welcome back to another painting video. Today we are going to be painting Boromir, Captain of the White Tower. And we're going to see how this goes because this is a pretty big surface to paint, and it's mostly white, so. But first, we're not going to deal with that. We're going to prep the face for contrast paints like we do, and the hair too, because we've painted Boromir on this channel before, and how we paint him is a little easy. So we're gonna first dry brush his face with the medium sea gray that we like so much from Vallejo. And then we'll get our matte white. And then just try to get like the super duper high spots here. Okay. And it's like a weird color. Okay, so that's gonna be, sorry, I have the reference behind me for like what the flag looks like, because to paint that is going to be kind of a bear. So let's start with the clothy bits, and we'll get those like we did last time with our blue-gray, which is somewhere in here. Let's see right there. So get all that nice and coated. You don't have to get the things because those are white, but it might make it easier for the white to show up on later. So we also have our other Boromir here that we did a long time ago to kind of look at for reference, but I think I'm going to be painting it a little different than this one was, so. But I think that, I mean, oh, I was like, I think that does it for the cloth, but we have his cape. And his cape is like this black color. But I think, would it kill it to be the same color, or should we just go like a black gray? Let's do our black gray. That way it's a nice, still painted, but it's not just flat black. Did not put enough down, because of course not. So we got here. Get that all nice and coated. And then we can see some of it back here too. So just kind of get, or you can leave it because it's black, and then it can be like a shadow if you want to be lazy about it, which, you know, we do sometimes. So, okay, we got that. And now let's get some of our matte white out. And we're gonna get these pieces here on tunic that's underneath here. It's supposed to be like all like detailed because, you know, like the Lord of the Rings stuff is all crazy detailed. It's like little like interlaced lines, like a chain looking paint job, but I don't have a brush small enough or a patience big enough for that, to do that. Or the skill, even. Like, who am I kidding? I don't have the skill for that. So let's just do that. And then we'll get our Prussian blue that's in here also, and just kind of go over our blue here while it's still kind of wet. We'll mix it in with our blue-gray to kind of wet blend it a little bit into itself there, just to add some color to it. Give it like a blue, like hero-y tint, if that's what you want to call it. Then we're gonna get our gunmetal to get the armor down, because that is a big portion of this model. So we do want to get a lot of it covered. So get the chainmail underneath here. And then we've got his whole like chest area is a little hard to kind of read. Like I said in the previous videos, you know, these are older models. They're not super new. So the detail in there is sometimes a little rough. Let's get that there. We missed some spots, so let's have to go back through this, but let's get all the metallics done here. So get his shoulder pad. I think I said this in my other video, but I really like Boromir. He is cool. He's a cool character to me. I always like sword and shield people, and you know, like the one-handed sword instead of like a big old two-handed sword. I don't know, he's just the character that I like the most from the books and the movies. Plus he's like a unit, like he's dope. Like he does things for Gondor. For Gondor! That's why when I was like, I'm gonna build a Minas Tirith army, and then could use him as its general, or warrior, what, hero of renown, I think is what they're called in the game. But we're just building a small list, me and my brother right now. He's doing Nazgul, but I'm doing Minas Tirith, so we're doing like 250, I think is the points, 250 points. And then the shield, he's not supposed to have the shield on his back. I recast a shield off this model kit and gave him another shield, because like I said, I like sword and shield people, and I like that design. Let's just paint it, who cares? We're gonna get it in a bit, so just make sure you get the outside rim here. And then also on the horn, the little mouthpiece area right here is silver as well. Okay. And then while we're here, we take our blue gray and get the parts of the tunic right here that are showing under the armor, or showing over the armor here. And we can just take that blue highlight also at the same time and then just do like a little in there. Do some cleanup work there. Okay. And then we'll get our German camo black brown as well. And we'll get the boots while we're here. And we try to think of what we use to paint the what's it called? The shield on our other guy. I could have looked at the video beforehand, but that would have required some preparation on my behalf. I think the gloves will do in this brown also. You know, it's a leathery glove. Let's do that. Let's clean that off. Let's go back to our metallic color here, our gunmetal. Get like the top of his hand here, as well as the tip of the banner here. And I know we had the white out earlier, but we'll have to do it again here for the horn. And we're just doing our best here not to hit the other spots. Okay, now we'll take our leather brown from Vallejo. And it's already down there, I have a lot down. And then we'll go through and get the straps on him here. His belt. Gotta figure out like kind of what's going on here. I think this is just the belt's tied right here. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that, but let's get that all lined out. Get all the edges and stuff. Here's his scabbardy thing here. I know it's not a scabbardy thing, I panicked, okay? Then we'll paint the wood of the banner with the leather brown as well. I use it as a nice like base coat for woods. Get in there. are some straps here and here and then here and here, as well as it looks like on the back here that we can get. And then what you can see here, just a little bit of the back of the shield. Sorry if you can't see this right now, I'm just kind of working through it. Okay, and I think that's that color kind of figured out. Then we go back to the gunmetal because we're stupid and we forgot to get the sword, because of course we did. Okay. We'll take the brown, the leather brown, and get just like the inside of this, the hilt there. And then we will now go to our brass color, brassy brass, for the one part of the sword, and then the horn. So we just get this guy right here, let's paint that. There's also part of the shield that is this color too, but we're gonna have to do that after we paint the, once I remember what color I painted the shield. I think it was like a rust brown. And then the horn end right here. And we'll go back to our gunmetal here and then get like the ends of the belts and stuff like that. So let's go here, and then like that one doesn't really have one. I think probably the top would have like a metal piece. And then just looking for buckles and stuff in there. Don't really see any, so I think we're clear. So now we can go into our lighter metal color, which is our shining silver. Wait, is it shining silver? No, I think it's this one, silver. It's just a regular old silver. And we're gonna use this for like our edge highlight. Well, my approximation of edge highlighting for some of the more details on his armor. Oh, but usually I would do something else first, so actually let's do that first before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's get a Nuln Oil wash over the armor, and that's gonna darken it for us and get our shades and stuff in there for us and help us with defining areas later. So let's get all that covered. Same thing with the chainmail down here, the boots. The back of his hand here. that's drying, now we're gonna get our whole red, and we're gonna use that for the wood on the shield, and as well as the sheath color, if I can get in there without ruining the whole thing. So let's get this shield painted. And this is a good like reddish brown to be using for this. Just just color inside the lines as best you can, like we do. Okay, and then for the sheath as well, just kind of work our way up it. And like ignore the wrappings, because the wrappings will stay that leathery brown color. Looks pretty good. And we messed up a little bit, so let's take our black gray here and just fill in that hole where we messed up. Just look for any other spots really quick over here. We're good. And we'll take our monster brown from Army Painter and just kind of grain up the wood, I guess is the term for it. We're just kind of like weirdly edge highlight it, just to give it that more woody feel. Howdy, howdy, howdy. We can even kind of edge highlight over the belt a little bit, just to give it, or just dry brush over the belt, just to give it a little bit more contrast on itself. Okay, so now we can get into our chainmail color here, and then we're gonna pick out the edges here and the tree as well as best we can. As cleanly as we can. We're going to avoid touching the chainmail with this silver because we want it to be darker than the rest of it. I'm going to kind of give it a little bit more separation there from the blue, because that gunmetal and that gray look pretty similar. But let me see if we can just poke some more of this in there to kind of separate it better. Okay. And if it's wet like that, we can take a little bit of that silver and kind of maybe wet blend a little bit into it. So just like take a little and like dot it on. And then get your brush wet and then just kind of feather it out a little bit. Then we'll take our sword with the silver as well. Pick out some of those little spots. Same thing with the tip of the spear here. to get Agrax Earthshade, and we're going to put it over the top of the horn here, just to darken up the horn a bit, and then kind of earthen it up with its colors. So we're going to hit these belts as well, because that's going to get into the little cracks, make them pop a little bit more. Also gonna do it on the chainmail under here, as well as on the boots, on the top of the boots, just to dirty him up, make it look more like he's been stomping around in the mud of Osgiliath. And now we can get his face, so we're gonna use Gilliman's flesh for his face. Don't remember what I used for his hair. I might have to pause for a second to go see how I did his hair last time. It's probably Gorgonta fur. I'm thinking it makes more sense to do Gorgonta fur. So we're just gonna put on the contrast paint here as best we can. It's like kind of pulled up in his eye right here, so we're just gonna pop it out like that. And we'll take Gorgonta fur contrast, and we're gonna do that for his hair. So let's put that in here. Hope you guys can see it and there's not too much in the way here. I get the little seam there, and then we gotta get his eyebrows and his little beard. Make sure I'm getting it as good as I can without messing it up. Okay. So now we're gonna go to the flag. And it looks like, oh, okay. It's got a black outline, which is hideous. But we're gonna use this US Field Drab. Wait, no, we're not. We're using the German Camo Beige. That's one of my favorite, like, tanny colors. It goes on well. And hopefully we'll be able to get this guy sorted out pretty good. So it looks like it's like a square. So it separates here. And then I think the flag is transparent for reals, but this is a thick piece of metal. So it's kind of, I'm just probably gonna paint the whole thing. It's probably easier to do this. I'll leave this little gap here at the back because that's easy enough to leave, but to outline this whole thing might drive me crazy. We'll leave like the tops, the midsections black still, so that you can kind of get it from there. So let's probably have to put a couple clip coats on here. Just to solidify it. Just be careful around the sword here. Okay, and then we'll do the same on the back while that's drying. So just kind of create an area. And then we're gonna have to move on from there. I think the tree is gold on it too, yeah. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be like a easy color to paint with? Whatever. Still gonna be a cool model in the end, so. We accidentally got some paint on the hair, so you wanna clean that up quickly, or at least get some Gorbrenta on it so that it matches with the rest of the guy. This side's not going on as smooth. Okay, and then now the front should be dry enough to where we can put another coat on. And not just get streaks everywhere. And you can leave some of it in there to kind of treat it like folds in the fabric, or you know, whatever you want to tell yourself, lie to yourself about, because you know, if it's for you, you want it to be like that, then you leave it like that. We're not out here trying to win competitions. We're out here trying to get our armies to where we're happy with them and that we can play with them. So let's just get that guy all nice and covered here. Okay, so there's our 2 coats on the flag. I'm gonna have to kind of step away for a second to look at the thing more closely, the reference that I have. Oh God. Okay, well, so it's good. We have our brass, and we're gonna paint this tree on both sides. So it's kind of like, it starts with like kind of a U. And it's a tree, so it's got a trunk. And then it's got lots of little spidery branches. Going off of it. We do the same thing on the other side. Theoretically, you would want it where the tree is on that side, but it's going to be kind of hard to do symmetrical tree stuff on both to keep it even, but try, just try. It's gonna be way uglier on this side. It's the back side, it's okay. Maybe we should have practiced on the back side first, but I feel like we got a pretty good bit down for our front. Okay. And then we've got black, and it's like they're like trees, but then they go to like a weird point at the end. You see this? Okay, so it's like a triangle here that goes down to here and kind of branches off, and there's another line inside. Oof. There's like crisscrossies in there. Oh no, guys, I'm just kind of winging it here. But if you hold it far enough away, you ask yourself, is that good enough? Do I get it? Okay. We're getting it, we're getting it. This is good practice for if you don't do freehand, to kind of see what it's all about and how much you can improve. It's a good like test here. And get the back, same thing. Those already look way better. Again, we didn't learn from our mistakes here and just do the back first. It's also like a different surface too on the back. It's more flat. So I feel like I have a little bit more control here. And I'm just gonna splinter off some vines here. Or branches. And then we get the inside lines. Like that. Let's clean up the top here. wonder if we can get, without ruining the front. The answer is no. You can kind of clean it up. We can just go here. Get our canvasy color again, and then just like clean up some of that gunk in there that we did. Make it not look as awful. Okay, now there's like these symbols on the inside of the flag, not in this little bar right here. So we're gonna kind of approximate those, I guess. So first thing, there's like a blue diamond at the bottom. So we're just gonna kind of paint a blue diamond. So we got a blue diamond. Same thing on this side. Okay. And then there's like a blue triangle with a red dot in the middle at the bottom, so we'll do that red in a second. Okay, and then it's like a bronze peacock at the top. Like, I'm kind of just guessing at what these things are. So we'll kind of just put a dot with like other dots around the top here. And then the other part looks like a circle with like a blue dot in it. So we'll point that there, put that there. And then we'll take the blue, put a dot in the center of that. I think like for the diamond here, we can put some like white streaks through it. Maybe like not. Okay. And let's get a little red here with this vermilion. See a little drop of it. And we'll put that for the bottom of this triangle here. And I think that's it. I think that is Boromir, Captain of the White Tower, complete. I know that's ugly, but not really a freehander. I think that the tree's okay. Everything else is a little iffy. But here's the backside. You're like, ooh. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.